This video is prepared as a part of Cloudcook Challenge Enhancement to send emails and Apex class execution. There were 4 main requirements for this enhancement. Improve user experience when user selects execute an Apex class by displaying a timer. So while the execute an Apex class action is selected, it takes some time to go through all the classes which are actually available for selection. So a loading window is now shown for that purpose, where at that time the user is not allowed to make any changes in the screen. Now validate the object reference in the Apex class for rule action, execution and Apex class. Enhance the rule of action, execute and Apex class to accept input and return output values. Now this is a requirement wherein the execute Apex class which actually uses an interface should actually allow accepting some input parameters and returning some parameters. That would be the result from the execution. Then some enhancement in rule action send email to display email folder. Now let's quickly go through the demo. So for this demo purpose, I have already created our account workflow, which actually has a rule demo account rule associated with it. So I come to demo account rule. Only one criteria is associated to this rule, which says that if account name contains text, then get into this rule, and the rule is executed every time the record is created or edited. And the rule action for this is execute the sample account update class. Now let's go through this sample account update class. Now this is the sample account update class. Now the very first thing I would like to show is the changes in the interface. Now previously this was a void method just sending out an object instance. Now what I have done is it will return a map of string and object, and it actually sends in as a parameter as a map of string and object. As I explained the implementation, this would be clear why we are using this. And I have added one more method, which is get implemented object API. Now this would be also clear when we look at the implementation. Now this is the implementation. So now what this class is actually doing is it actually is accepting map of input parameter. Now this map of input parameter, if we go to the execution engine, what I have done is I am sending the object instance, that is the string and object map. The key for that map is object instance, and I am sending the object to be processed to this class. Now I get the object from that map and typepass is just as object. Now what is happening is every time we call this class, that is the run action, it will create a task. Now we wanted to showcase how, for the requirement, it is needed that it should be showcased that how the output parameters can be written from here. So what I have done is I have added some output parameter. So this method returns map of string and object. So what I have done, I have added that some parameters like is task created, task instance, and all the opportunities related to that account, and I will put it in associated opportunities parameter. Now the second method which is included in the interface is the get implemented object API name. So every time this class is implemented, what developer has to do is it will return the object API name for which this class has been implemented, so that we can validate that this class should be available for the rule action. Now what I will do is I will quickly go to the rule and I will show what all different changes have been made. So here if now I click execute and observe, now this loading image will come, and while the loading image is shown, I cannot click on anything. Now the requirement says that we should be able to validate when the user saves the Apex job. Now what I have done is, instead of actually validating after user hits on save, I am not showing the classes which actually do not reference the object. That is the rule for which it is defined. If it is defined for account, then and if the implemented class returns account or maybe any related object API name which is actually shown here, that class would be shown here. So for that matter, here we are able to see 4 classes, but I have one more class which is implemented in this, or which actually is now returning that it is implemented for rule archive. I just want to see if I change it to account and say it would be shown here as sample Apex class, which is actually not available here. So now I have changed it and it got saved. Now let's change from update field, Apex job, and here is the class that is now available for selection. And changes related to same email were like, so if it was all the email templates were directly available, I have created some folders in my where now if I select the test folder, it will give me the template. And in the test folder, if I say support folder, then all the templates related to support will be available. So these were some of the changes which were made for this. Now the last requirement wherein some input parameters should be sent and users should be able to get some output parameters from the execution. For that, what I will be doing is I will be editing this account, and this account for this account I have actually an action which calls this sample account update class, which would actually create a task for that account and it would return some parameters. Now to see what all parameters are returned here, actually I am using a system.debug, which is actually on top of map of output parameters, which is written by run action. So let me go and clear all the debug logs first. And I will edit this rating, and here as it can be seen, the account does not have any activity. So let's say, as it can be seen, because of that rule which calls this class, activity has been created, that is the task for this account. And if we go to the debug log and search for this, the parameters are like, is task created true, then what are the parameters with the task, which is the task actually created here as it can be seen. Then what all are the opportunities related to this. So if we go to this account, this is the opportunity which is related to this. So this here, it could be any parameter, as it is a map, string and object. We are allowed to return anything like boolean, string, list of objects, whatever could be the data type, we can put it in object and return it, and wherever we need to use it, we can just typecast it and use it as per our needs. For that, specific convention can be defined, which could be further used to actually make it simple for development. This is all about this demo. Thanks for watching this demo.